Hey everybody, you're watching CAD Roll Hunter. If you like finding silver in your coin roll hunts or even watching videos of people finding silver, then buckle up. In today's video, I've put together a compilation of all of the silver I have found in all of my coin roll hunts, plus a little bit of bonus footage. Stay tuned. I didn't see it by the edge, but we have got silver. Maybe we can see now. It's really hard to tell, and I couldn't really make out the date easily, but it looked like a 61, so I put it under the scope, and sure enough, it's a 1961, and I did that even before I'd actually flipped it over to see the laureate portrait. So our dime hunt has yielded silver. Roll number 18, and when I just pulled the other coin aside, I saw what looked like a pretty shiny coin here. I didn't tell by the edge, but we have silver again in the box. So that's two boxes in a row. This is a 1967. This could be either 50 or 80% silver. There's really no easy way to tell. They both should weigh up the same, but that's awesome. I've got roll number 26 here, and I'm seeing a lot of interesting colored edges here. And I think we might have some silver right here, just at the edge of my thumb. Just looks a little bit lighter. It's hard to tell sometimes in Canadian dimes because some of the 80s and 70s seem to have a shinier edge, and there's one that has like a little bit of a different reading. So we're going to open it up and see. And so the one that I'm looking at in particular is a 1966, I think. Oh, it's a 1968. And so this time, we're going to try the magnet test. And it fails the magnet test, which means that it has passed the silver test, which is awesome. So we'll put that on our finds. That is two silvers in the box. We're in roll number 36, and I've just laid it out in my hand, got it out of the roll. And I've got an edge here that definitely looks older and looks like it could be silver. I'm going to lay it down and pull it out, and we'll take a look together. But I thought I'd just mention that in all of my coin roll hunting, the most silver I found in a box of dimes previously was 2, and I only found it once. So we've already tied that right now with a 1967 and a 1968. If this is a third silver, and I just can't be sure until we look at it, this would be my best box ever. This would be my record-breaking dime box. So I'm going to lay this down, and we're going to take a look at it and see. So I'm going to cross my fingers, and please cross your fingers too, because that would be fantastic. Okay, I've laid the roll down here, and we can see this, and oh, for sure, it's another 1968. Can see some tarnish on it, and of course, if we do the old drop test, it's got that silver sound to it. So that's awesome. This is, now that's a 50%er, the 1968s, but we're going to add that to the board. That is incredible. That is our third silver of the box. I think we might have another edge here that looks silvery. Is it possible that this is our fourth silver? Okay, I've laid it down and I can see it here, and it looks like it's going to be silver. Let's just take a peek and see what we've got. For sure, and it's a 1963, and a pretty nice one at that. And that's the laureate portrait. It's got some tarnish on it, but otherwise the detail looks really good. This is hugely exciting. This is our fourth silver of the box, and I have $22.50 in face value here. I've got 50-cent pieces, I've got quarters, I've got dimes. You can see there's some laureate portrait, there's some King George V, there's King George VI, all sorts of goodies. All right, well, let's see what we got. Let's get it out here. I love the sound of silver. And you can see we got some bright and shiny BU coins. We've got some pretty tarnished and filthy coins. There's one that's pretty black there. We're pretty much at the halfway point here. This is roll number 26, and we haven't found any silver since that 1964 laureate portrait we got over there. Hold on a second. Silver? Did I miss something? We haven't found any silver since that 1964 laureate portrait we got over there. Okay, well, so that happened. I got a 1964 silver in here, and somehow I didn't press the button on the camera properly. Instead, apparently I got about 10 minutes of this, which is not terribly exciting, so I'll have to be much more careful so that I don't miss any key moment like finding 80% silver in my dime roll. Anyway, let's get back to the hunt. I just bring you in because this roll has a few interesting edges and it's just a little bit hard to tell. So this one here, it has the look that it could be either a dirty coin or an old silver coin. And that is an exceptionally filthy 2012. So I don't know what's happened to that one. That's not what we're looking for. And then we got another one right here that just looks a little different color. And it's also a newer coin as well. It just has some interesting stuff on it. I just picked up roll number 19 and it's got an interesting edge that's standing out right up here. It looks like it could be silvery, but sometimes we find ones that are just a little bit discolored, so it's hard to tell. So lay this out and we'll open it up and we'll see, but it's definitely looking different. Okay, I got it laid down here. We're going to see. It's not that good. Oh, yeah. This is awesome. This is absolutely an addition to the album. This is a 1961. This is 80% silver. This is fantastic. This is the first silver I've found in a quarter box on my channel. I found silver before, of course, but this is fantastic. I've just opened up roll number 39, and I've got another edge here that looks interesting. It's very definitely different than the rest. So I'll lay it down. I'm going to try to lay it down right now. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see if we can find it and see what that is. And we've found more silver. This is a 1967 Bobcat. This could be, oh, this is 80% for sure. Actually, no, this could be 80% or 50%. That's right. And there isn't really an easy way to tell, but we've got 2 silver in the box, which is just awesome. I've just cracked open roll number 8, and we might have something here. We definitely have a US copper edge in the front of the roll, but over here, we've got something that looks silvery. So I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to see, and hopefully it's not just a dirty 2012. We've been fooled before. And it is a 1968, and it's got the look of silver. So I'll put it down. There's one way we can find out for sure, and that is to give it the magnet test. And it passes the silver test. And we have found silver in the first 8 rolls. That is awesome. We still have a whole bunch more to go. You never know what we're going to find, but we are on a silver streak. That is wicked. 1968, 50% silver dime. Roll number 21, and as I was laying it down, looking at an edge, I thought it looked a little suspect, but now as I've laid it down, I'm thinking we've got silver here. And I got to say, that looks silver to me. This is a plastic roll. I couldn't tell from the outside. But that is a 1968. That is undoubtedly silver. But just to be sure, we're just going to do the magnet test. And it fails the magnet test. We got silver in the box. This is a 1968 50%er. Roll number 29, and we got a couple odd edges. That one looks pretty toasty. It's hard to know what that might be, but we'll put it down. We'll have a peek. And this other one might just be gunky. Okay, so we'll take a look at this dark one first. And we've got more silver. This is a 1966. This is 80%, and I have no idea. That's just some really significant toning. That's really fantastic. It doesn't even look like it's got a lot of circulation wear, but it's certainly tarnished or toned. That's awesome. That's 2 silver in the box. And let's take a look if we can see that other light edge. What that might have been, I don't think it was anything. And I think it's just something dirty. Yeah, it's a 2016. But we got more silver in the box, which is fantastic. Any day is a good day when you're holding on to a bag of silver. So I went to my silver dealer this week and I had a look at their scrap silver, and I got myself $12.50 of US 90% silver. It's an assortment of half dollars. I've got some quarters, I've got some dimes, some different years. And so let's just get this out of the bag here. So I can open the little Ziploc. All right. And then we can get this out of here. I am just in roll number 1, and I am bringing you in because I didn't see it by the edge, but I think we have a silver dime here. And it is a 1966. This is 80% Canadian silver. That is incredible. I didn't notice it by the edge, but I probably should have. It looks pretty bright. So we are back on silver. That is incredible. First roll silver. I think that's the first time I've ever had first roll silver. That means we've got 49 more chances to get more silver. So that's pretty awesome. So that is a great first find for the board. I'm literally like 10 coins in, and that is amazing. Roll number 16, and I think we are going to have silver. I see a really light edge right here. We'll take a look at that, but let's just lay this down and get a peek at what we've got here. And we absolutely have silver, 1964, and it looks to be in fairly nice condition. Look at that, laureate portrait, silver, lots of great detail, a little bit of, I don't know, like some milk spotting kind of thing, but that looks to be a really nice quarter. We've got silver in the box, and we still have a bunch of rolls to look at, so that is very encouraging. Awesome. Roll number 30, and we've got a couple of interesting edges here. So we've got a US, you can see that copper ring, but the one right beside it looks like it could be silvery, but it's hard to tell because, as you can see, there's some variation in some of the colors on here, but we'll take a look and see if we've got a silver streak. Okay, I've laid it down, and this actually looks pretty promising. You can see that edge there, and it's a 1963. We indeed have silver, but I don't think he's even the one that I thought it was. 1963 laureate portrait, silver in the box. We're on a 2-box dime silver streak and a 3-box streak in silver totally. That's actually awesome. In 1963, wicked. All right, we're at roll number 20. I just opened up the end of this roll to pour it out, and look what I see. This is the look of silver, and I think if that looks like it might be a 1942 or 52. We'll have to get it out to see, but I think we have 80% Canadian silver. You can tell it's got that look, and it's pretty worn. And you might have been able to see it better than I did. It's actually a 1962, but it is 80% Canadian silver. We've got silver in the box. That's awesome. We are just 40% of the way through that box at roll number 20. And we'll take a look at the other side. And there she is, Queen Elizabeth II, the laureate portrait. That is an awesome find. Silver in the box, 1962, 80% silver quarter. Okay, I just dumped out roll number 2, and I think we're off to a hot start, and our streak, I think, is going to be alive because look at that bright, shiny edge there. I think we've got silver. I'm going to try to lay this down and see if we can find that, and it's looking pretty silvery to me. And we have a laureate portrait, so we've got silver in the box. That's awesome. This is a 1962. I'm going to just throw that under the scope so we can get a good look at that. And there it is, confirmed, a 1962, 80% silver Canadian dime. Great, great start. We're in roll number 31, and the coloring of this one caught my eye, and when I look at it, it's a 1968. And if we do the sound test, you can hear that ring of silver. We have got our second silver of the box, and if I put it up to the magnet, you can see, and I'll try to get it in frame, it doesn't stick to the magnet. So we have A 1968, pretty rough shape, 50% silver Canadian dime. So that's our second silver dime of the hunt. Incredible. Our two best finds so far were a couple of silver. We got a 1962 80% silver, and I have to correct myself because I think I said this was a 68 50%er. This one here is just, the date is somewhat obscured, but it's actually a 1965. If I put it under the scope, we can verify that for sure. It is absolutely a 1965. So that means it is 80% Canadian silver. That means we're on a 3-box silver streak in dimes, which is pretty incredible. I wanted to get some junk silver, but I was looking for something a little bit different than I normally get. I asked if he had any international silver, and he did. He actually handed me a jar full, or a container full of international silver. I was able to look through and pick up some things that I thought were interesting. There's some older stuff in here. Now, this is junk silver, so it's not all going to be in the greatest of shape, but there's older stuff, there's interesting stuff. So I've dumped it out, and this is a real true mixed bag. We've got different sizes, different denominations, different countries, even different silver purities. And so Robert had to kind of guess sort of what the average silver purity was. And so I was happy with that. But we can see we've got some older Queen Victoria. I see King George V. This one is really interesting. We'll talk about this one for sure. We've got stuff from all sorts of different countries. You can see France. I can see, Germany. I just opened up roll number 7 into my hands, and we're going to have a find for sure because there is a smaller reeded edge in there. It looks like we're going to have a dime. We'll just flip this over and see what we got. We'll just sort of flip these guys and see if we can find that dime. Where did it go? There it is. It's a pretty dark edge, so it could be just something pretty grungy. And that looks like silver. It looks tarnished. Let's throw that under the scope. That's a 1946. Hold on a second. A 1946. We found a silver American dime in our Canadian penny hunt. Just going to flip it over and see if it has a mint mark. We would see it to the left of that torch there, but there is not. We got a 1946 silver 90% US dime in our penny roll. That's awesome. I've never had that happen before. I mean, we find dimes fairly regularly, and it's always disappointing. This time, not at all. We got silver in our penny hunt. Roll 33, just doing an edge check of this roll, and I think we might have silver. We definitely have an American over here, but look at this edge right by my thumb. It's just slightly different. It's got that whiter silver look. So I'm going to put this down and we'll take a peek. And we'll look down here and see if we can find there. Oh, and that has the look of silver. And there it is. Our good friend, the Bobcat, a 1967 commemorative silver quarter in the box. We've got silver. That is a sight for sore eyes. That's great. We found lots of things here so far. That's been a good box so far, but this is what we're looking for sure. Silver, 1967 silver quarter in the box. I just put roll number 11 in my hands, and this one has an edge that looks more worn right by the tip of my thumb, and the coloring is just a little bit different, and I'm hoping we might have something older and silvery here. We'll find out. So I've laid that roll down, and we're going to see if we can find that older edge, which I think was a little bit further back here. I think it is this guy right here. And it is. Look at that. We have got 80% silver in the roll. There is the laureate portrait, and let's see what we got. It is a 1953, I think. Let's put it under the scope and see. And it is absolutely a 1953, which means we can check to see if it is one of two varieties, the shoulder fold or no shoulder fold. So we have 50s silver, a 1953 Canadian dime, which is wicked. I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to have a look at the queen here. And it looks like this is going to be, I was going to say the shoulder fold. That looks like it's just a scratch on there. So what we need to do is check the lettering, the I here. has no flares. This is going to be the shoulder fold variety. If the eye had more of a serif or a flared sort of end to the top and the bottom, it would be a no shoulder fold. So we have a 1953 shoulder fold Canadian silver dime. Wicked. I just pulled out roll number 18 and I've got it in my hand here. I haven't opened it, but I think we might have more silver. That second coin on the edge looks very interesting, and I think we might have silver number 2. You can see how much brighter and whiter it is than the other coin beside it. So let's open it up and take a peek. All right, so I've laid it down, and that second coin looks very promising. It looks like the Tierra portrait, and it does look silvery for sure. Let's flip it over. And there it is. Holy mackerel, I might want to say. A 1967, another silver dime. This is our second silver of the box, which is awesome. Lots of interesting edges here. We've got several US for sure. But I think there's one edge that looks promising right by my thumb. It's hard to tell. I'll just start at the front and we'll work our way back. But that one looks like it could be interesting. Could we have our third silver of the box at the halfway point? That would be incredible. Okay, so I laid it down, and I don't think I can wait to just work through because I think we do have another silver here. Looking at that edge, let's just take a peek. What do we have? And we do. It's a 1962, another laureate portrait. That is awesome. Let's just take a closer look at that. So there it is under the scope. And it is verified in 1962. Dimes can be really tough sometimes. Obviously, our last box, all uncirculated, nothing there. And they're hard to look at. The dates are really small. But every once in a while, you get a box like this where you find silver. And in this case, 3 silver so far. We're only halfway through. Is it possible we could tie my all-time record? My best performance for silver in a dime box, is 4. And you've seen that on a video on my channel. Could we do that again? Could we even better that? We'll find out. Roll number 30, and I think we're going to have our 4th silver. I see an edge right here that looks very silvery. We've got all sorts of interesting edges. I think most of these are going to be copper US edges, so we'll find lots of interesting things for the board on here, but one of them I think might be our record tying 4th silver. So let's get in and find out. All right, we got that laid down, and I think our edge, oh, absolutely, we struck silver again, and it is a nice one. Look at that. It's got some scratches on it, but lots of luster, nice and shiny, no toning or tarnish on it, circulated. But we've got another mackerel 1967. And of course, this could be 50% or it could be 80%. We're just not going to be able to know easily. But that is our second 67, our 4th silver of the box. And that ties my all-time best for silver coins in a single box coin roll hunt. I just picked up roll 47, and I think we're going to have my record-breaking 5th silver right in the middle there. It looks pretty white. It looks different than the rest. Let's see if we can break the record and get 5 dimes in one hunt. 5 silver dimes, that is. And I got it right here. Let's see what this is going to be. Will we break a record? As I throw them all over the place. And you could probably see it. A 1961 laureate portrait, silver dime. Our 5th silver for the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is awesome. 80% silver, a 1961. Incredible. All right, last roll number 50, and doing an edge check. Lots of interesting color on here, and I don't want to get too excited, but this second last coin in this roll looks like it could be an older silver edge. And I don't know. We're going to get in here and we'll see. We've got at least 1 American, maybe 2, 3 possibly. But that one looks promising. Let's take a look. All right, very last roll. I've laid it down and we're going to find out together here. And that is just incredible. That is our 6th silver of the box. This one is a 1962, another 80% silver dime. This is my absolute high record. I had 4 before. I think I've done that twice in dimes. Most of the time it's 0. But today we've got 6, including, we've got one in the 50s, a bunch in the 60s. This has been an incredible hunt. We got $250 of dimes. Our last box was incredible. We got 6 silver dimes, by far my best. These ones look like they might be pretty interesting. And we have a silver dime in the roll right here. If I flip it over, it is a 1962, and that is awesome. So we are definitely on a silver streak. Let's take a little closer look on this one. So there it is, a 1962. That's confirmed. The only other thing I'll note, it's got some odd markings along here that just kind of make it look as though there was something wrong with the silver planchet. It might be easier to see outside of the scope, but it sort of looks, it doesn't look like normal wear. Very interesting, but you know what? It is silver in the box, and that is really cool. I've got roll number 27 here, and this looks really interesting. These edges, well, it's hard to know what's happening here. At first I thought, could this possibly be a whole roll of silver? And I don't think so. I think we've got maybe some just dirty coins and some really dark ones. We've got some Americans and some other things, but we'll put this down and we'll see if we find anything interesting. These edges don't really give away much. So I don't want to get too excited, but we'll see. Well, right off the bat, there's a US, and it looks like these are actually just pretty dirty coins with some kind of film on them, but they're definitely older 70s. So we'll take a look and I'll see if there's anything in there. This one here, this American, that's just a really toned and dirty 1981. So we are in that roll, and you can see the state that these coins are in. You can even see this dirt that's come out of the roll. But this one here, although it's pretty dirty on the edge, it has the look of silver, and it's a 1960 something. Let's put it under the scope and get a better look. Well, it's a little hard to see, but this is a 1966. This is another silver dime. That's 2 in the box. And there is Elizabeth. And you can see the look of silver on the obverse for sure. It's really grungy there, but that is silver, and we're not upset about that at all. Is there maybe anything else hiding in here? Well, take a look here. Just a few coins back. Another one. This is a 1960. We are on an incredible silver streak. We got 6 in the last box. We've got 3 so far in this box, and we're only halfway through. Well, we're only halfway through this roll, and this roll's been really good. So there is a laureate portrait, 1960 silver dime. I am still in the same roll. I'm just a few coins back, but look behind this pretty decent 1975. Look at that edge. Does that look silver to you? It looks silver to me. And it absolutely is. Look at that. Queen Elizabeth. Another 1960 silver dime. That's our second 1960 and our third silver in this roll. Well, I don't know what's happened to this one. We're still in the same roll, but that 1968, it's going to be hard to tell, but it's definitely not silver. But look what's right behind it. A 1963. That's our 4th silver of this roll and our 5th silver of the box. Is it possible that we could actually tie or even beat our silver record from just our last box? That is incredible. Wow. Okay. 2 coins further back, and the answer is yes. We're going to tie our last box. Here's another one. This one, I got to scope it just to see what that is, but that is a no doubt silver with Queen Elizabeth laureate portrait on the back there. Let's take a peek and see what year that is. That's a 1959. We have 6 silver dimes in this hunt so far, tied our last box, our best box ever. This is just crazy. This is the 5th one in this one single roll. But this roll is not done yet. 1966 in the roll, our 6th silver of the roll. Absolutely incredible. And again, just behind this 1981, it's pretty grungy. That looks like another silver edge there. And it is. And we may have another one in the roll yet. This one I can't quite make out. We're going to have to, that looks like a 63. Let's just confirm that. A 1963. That is our eighth silver, seventh in this one roll. Okay, that roll was just the best roll ever. A little bit of a recap. So a lot of 70s and 80s coins. Some were quite dirty, though there were some in actually pretty good condition. So out of that, we pulled 7 silver right here from the 50s into the 60s, all 80% silver. Really strange. This came out of somebody's collection or somebody's piggy bank or something. I don't know where this came from, but I just hope maybe we've got a little bit more of it in the rest of these rolls. I have no idea, but that was just the best roll I've ever had. I got a box of quarters here, and wouldn't it just be amazing if we got the kind of silver in here that we've had in our dime boxes? Okay, well, I just pulled out roll 35 and doing an edge check. I didn't even need to do that because as I put it into my hand, this coin on the end looks pretty silver. So I'm going to just put that down. We're going to take a look and see what we've got. And it has the look of silver. It's a 1968, so it's either nickel or 50% silver. And when we put it down and put the magnet to it, the magnet does not stick. We found a 1968 silver quarter in our coin roll hunt, and that is wicked. Hey everybody, it's CAD Roll Hunter. In case you haven't noticed, silver's been on sale, so this is a great time to pick up some junk silver to add to your collection, and that's exactly what I've done. I got a couple bags here, and you gotta love that sound of silver. I've got some dollars, some half dollars, quarters, and dimes, some new shiny stuff, new, air quote new, because they stopped making silver coinage in Canada in the 60s, but newer BU stuff, I should say, and some older stuff. Okay, we got a couple of things to add. That came out all at once, and I got another bag. I'm going to open this up, and we'll get this out, and you gotta love that sound of silver. I just grabbed roll number 18, and this is our first plastic wrapped roll. But look what I see. I think we've got silver, and I think we might even have 2. This one edge here is really, really bright, but the 2 down from it, I think also might be silver as well. We could have 2 silvers in here, and the more I look at it, the more I think that's the case. So let's just put it down and see what we can find here. If I can get these out all in one action. That looks pretty silvery to me. And we have a 1968 50% silver quarter in the box. Our silver streak is back on. That's awesome. But the question is, do we have 2? Because it looked like this other one. Oh yeah, we can even hear it. That is a 1955 laureate portrait. 2 silver dimes in the box in the same roll. I don't think I saw any others, but that is really cool. That is 80% silver, and that edge you could see just looks old. That's wicked. 2 silvers in the box. Roll 28 is another one of these plastic wrappers, but it doesn't have the purple stripe like this one does, and it doesn't look to have any silver edges as we take a peek at it. In fact, they look to be all pretty plain. Why that's significant, of course, is because when people wrap up coins, if they find an old jar of coins and wrap them up, they'll tend to go and get a whole bunch of the same kind of wrapper, which is why I want to see if we've got more of these. And I can see that next one in there is one. And I mentioned, we'll just take a little sneak peek, that I can see a couple lighter edges, and I'm not going to look any closer than that because we're not there yet. Roll number 37, we are just 1 roll away from that promising plastic wrapper, but this paper wrapper, I opened it up, and I think we're going to have another silver in here. Look at this edge right by my thumb. That looks pretty white and bright. So I'm going to put these down. We'll see if we can find that edge and see what it is. I'm going to have to... Now I've spilled them out all over the place, but there it is right there. And it does look silver. And that is another 1968. That's another 50% silver. That is incredible. That's 3 for the box so far. Awesome. Still in that roll, and I just pulled out another 1968, this one on the right here, but you can see a big difference between that 68 on the right and the 68 on the left that is silver. And of course, if I try to put the magnet to this guy, it definitely tells me it is made of nickel. If I try on the next one, well, if I don't get caught up by all these other ones, but if I try over here, nothing happens. So you can definitely tell the difference just by looking at them for sure. But it doesn't hurt to check just in case. All right, we're here at roll number 38, and I told you this looked promising. It's another one of these clear plastic rolls with that purple stripe, and I think we're going to have at least another 2. I see a promising edge here by my thumb, and I think right here. I don't think there are any others, but that is a 70s ender, and it looks pretty nice. And on this side, it's another 68 ender. We found a bunch of really nice 68s in that last roll, so I think these are related, a sister roll, if you will. But let's find out what we are dealing with here with these silvery edges, and I just got to see if I can spot it again. This guy right here. Whoops, that I didn't get. And it has the sound of silver. That is another 1968, so that's our third 68 for the roll. And I can see that other edge now. It is right here. And it is an oldie. Check that out. That is King George VI. That is a 1951. I'm going to have to look. I keep pretty extensive records of all of my hunts. I don't believe I've actually found a King George VI silver dime, silver anything maybe, in a coin roll hunt. So I'm going to check that, but that's awesome. That's our 5th silver, and this is an oldie, a 1951, 80% silver, King George VI. That's awesome. So I checked my spreadsheet, and I can absolutely confirm that I have never found a King George VI dime, and that's really awesome. I've actually only found 2 in the 50s, a 53 shoulder fold, I believe, and a 1959. All the rest have been more common dimes in the 60s. And so this is really wicked. 1951 in the box, and I'm hoping we're going to find some more. So we tied my record for the number of silver dimes with 8. That was from 2 boxes ago. It doesn't tie my record for the amount of silver because our 8 silver dimes previously were mostly 80% silver rather than 50% silver. But I'm not going to complain. We got tons of silver. I don't ever expect to get silver in a box necessarily. If we get 1, we're lucky. If we get 8, oh my goodness, we've been on such a streak. It's been crazy. You can see here is a 1904 that looks like it's in pretty rough shape. 1940, 63, and 64. I paid 15 times face for those 3 right there. This one here, I didn't actually pay anything for. The seller threw this in. Something to note is that this quarter should weigh 5.83 grams. When I put it on the scale, it's 4.17. It is really light. Now, when I pick it up and flip it over, check it out. It clearly has stamped on there counterfeit. So not sure how a collector got this in their collection. It is not a real quarter. Very interesting. It's made of lead or tin or something, and it's quite a bit lighter than it should be. And the fact that it looks like it's in really rough shape probably has to do with the manufacturing process not being very robust, perhaps. Roll number 47, and I've just got it in my hand, and I edge checked them all, and I've got one edge that looks bright and looks interesting. So we'll throw this down. And we'll see, yeah, it's pretty shiny. We have got silver. 1962, this is going to be a laureate portrait. Look at that, it's got a pretty nice cameo finish on that. Look at that. It is, it's showing some tarnishing, but it's got some really great features on it. This is incredible. This is an 80% silver 1962 quarter. In the roll, lots of detail, cameo, awesome find. Hey everybody, it's CAD Roll Hunter here, and we're going to look into a jar of silver treasure. Okay, I got the lid off. I can see one that doesn't have the look of silver, so it might be something different, but for the most part, this looks all pretty silvery. Let's go ahead and... Oh, that's definitely the sound of silver. And look at that. I see an oldie. That's really cool. Let's see. Well, let's just take a quick peek while we're here. That is really awesome. A 1919, and it's got lots of detail. That's in really great shape. That's really cool. We are in roll 13, which is another one of those overstuffed rolls. And not only is it going to be overstuffed, but I think it's going to keep our silver streak going. I just flipped a coin out of the way to reveal this obverse, and it has that white look of silver. We'll flip it over, and absolutely, we've got a 1967 with the mackerel on it. This could be either 50% or 80% silver, but either way, we're going to take it because we've got silver in the box, and we just paid 10 cents for it, and that's awesome. I've just opened up roll number 27, and I think silver is going to strike again. I've got an edge right by my thumb that looks older, and I figured we'd take a look together and see what we might have here. It just looks more worn, and I'm just trying to get it if I can. And it is too. Look at that. It is a laureate portrait. It's 80% silver. Let's flip it over. And it's in the 50s, 1956. That is an awesome find. Silver in the box, silver number 2. Roll number 12, and we've got a couple odd-looking, old-looking edges. We're just going to have to put this down and see if we possibly have some old silver. We'll find out in just a second. And it looks pretty promising. We're going to have... Nope, it is a 1973 Denver. It's just a clad US dime. But look at that, right behind it. We are going to have silver. What's it going to be? That's a 1960, 80% silver in the roll. And I almost thought we had two with that clad because it had a very similar look about it on the edge. But I'm not going to complain because we found Canadian 80% silver in the roll. Roll number 28, and I did not even notice it by the edge, but we are going to have another silver. This one here is a 1962, once again, 80% silver dime in the roll. That is awesome. Well, we're in roll number 31, and I'm going to have to check my eyesight because I missed this one again. We've got another silver. This is our third one. And it is a 1956, another laureate portrait. That's our third silver in the box. And again, I just missed it by the edge. I'm going to have to take more care to look at those edges and make sure that I'm seeing it. Roll 39, and I am checking these edges extra carefully. And I think we might have a candidate right by my thumb. You can see that with the Canadian coins, it's really hard sometimes to differentiate from the silver. And it could be nothing at all, but we're just going to put it down. We've had silver in this box, so yeah, that looks pretty good. And it is for sure. We've got another laureate portrait. Let's flip it over. And it's another 1960. That's our fourth silver of this box, and we still have rolls to go. Awesome. I have a couple of bags of silver here, and I'm so excited to get in this. I actually got these quite a long time ago, and they have just been sitting here and pretty much almost burning a hole in my pocket. I'm really excited to get into these. And over here, I have some $1 silver coins, and you can see there's some pretty awesome looking toners, and there's some old stuff in here too. So let's get in these. I'm going to get this bag ready, and we'll do a little bit of a silver spill here so you can get that sound of silver. All right, we'll do a little bit of a dump here, and we'll get that sound of silver that we love so much. Okay, well, that is awesome. And you can see here we've got a pretty good assortment of stuff here. There's some ones that have a fair amount of mint luster still. I can see some there. Might even have some upgrades to my own book. We'll have to see. There's a pretty nice looking 1949. Today we are going to be coin roll hunting a box of dimes, 50 rolls of dimes, and I think today's hunt might be a good one because I took a look at one of these plastic wrapped rolls and I see something really good right there. I think we've got silver. Stay tuned. I just laid down roll number 9. And have a look at that. That I couldn't see it by the edge against these other coins, but I should have. That looks a lot like silver. We're going to flip it over. And it absolutely is. That's a 1966 80% silver dime. We just paid 10 cents at the bank for this, and it is worth significantly more than that. That is an awesome find in our dimes. We are all the way to roll number 38. I've got it here, and this was the one I showed you at the very beginning. It has a very white-looking coin on the end. So I'm going to break into the tape here, open this up, and see if we do have silver. If we do, this will be silver number 2. Okay, this is our moment of truth, and I feel really good about this one. Or at least I should say I did until I got faked out by this 1968 nickel toner over here. But this one has a white look that I don't think you can fake on a coin. And so let's take a peek here. And it is a 1968. And this time, I'm going to put it down. I'm going to get the magnet to it. And it does not stick. So we absolutely have silver number 2 in the box, a 1968 50% silver Elizabeth II dime. Awesome. I'm in roll number 39, and I didn't see anything as I rolled it out, but I heard something as I laid it down, and I think what I heard was this guy right here, something a little bit different. A 1961, we have struck silver again. This one is a laureate portrait, pretty circulated, but again, 80% silver, and it's going to have a little bit of a different sound. It's going to have that ring of silver, and I kind of heard that. I don't know if there are any more in there. I didn't see this one by the edge, so you always want to hope there might be more. Where there's one, there could be more. I just wanted to take a moment to tell a little bit of a story. It really illustrates why we do coin roll hunting. So for those of you who do coin roll hunting, for those of you who like watching the videos, the thrill of discovery is what it's all about. Finding treasure. Sometimes you have to look through rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of nothing, just common stuff, and occasionally find something really cool. And it makes it all worthwhile. But then every once in a while, you happen into something pretty incredible. And that's what this story is about. And what you're seeing right now is a picture of some Canadian dimes. And one of my viewers, a subscriber to the channel, Abir, got some rolls of dimes from the bank. He got 13 rolls. And this is what he found when he opened up the first roll. All of these dimes are silver. Often, if we can find one silver dime in a box, it makes it worthwhile. So this is a roll of 50 silver dimes, but that wasn't it. In 13 rolls, Abir found 657 silver dimes. And look at this. This is just a ton of silver. I see King George VI, Queen Elizabeth, laureate portraits. It's just absolutely incredible. And we'll take a look at this particular dime. Here's an example of one of the ones he found. This is a 1937. This is a first year King George VI. That's incredible. But take a look at the obverse. So a lot of these look like junk silver, but check out the detail on this coin. This coin is actually in really good condition. It looks fantastic. Look at all of the detail in the hair. You can see the definition on the eyebrow and the eye. Oftentimes coins this age are really ground down and a lot of that detail is gone. This is a fantastic coin. This probably isn't the best of the coins. 657. And if you're doing the math, 13 full rolls of dimes would be 650 dimes. So these rolls, not only were they completely full of silver, they were overstuffed. He got 7 extra dimes and they were all silver. That is really, really incredible. And there's more math we can do. 657 dimes is $65.70 in face value. And that's what Abir paid. Well, he paid $65. I guess the 7 were free. But this is the equivalent of $953.23 today in US. That's what it is in US dollars, just the melt value of the silver. And if you are in Canada and you want to figure out what that is, that's $1,292.23 in silver melt value from these rolls of dimes that he sent to the bank that just cost him $65. Absolutely incredible. This is why we do it. I've never had a score like this before, but you know what? I'm pretty certain if I continue to coin roll hunt, if I continue to get coins at the bank, I'm going to continue to find great and surprising things. And you never know. One day I might get my hoard of 657 coins just like Abir did. Incredible. I've got the last roll, which are these all USA. And what does interest me is that there are a couple of edges that are very different. And I'm hoping that these might be war nickels, silver war nickels, because those are ones that would look quite a bit different. So we'll just pull that one up before I look at the rest of them. And it is, look, there's a P mint mark above Monticello. It's pretty discolored, but this is going to be a 1942. I think I'll put that under the scope just to confirm that. There it is, 1942 Philadelphia. That's 35% silver. So that's going to make this whole thing pretty worthwhile. It's not in great shape. And there's another one that could be too. Let's take a peek and see. And that is too. That's a San Francisco. You can see that really clearly. San Francisco minted 1943. And let's take a peek at that one too. There it is. Pretty cool. So we got two war nickels, silver, 35% silver. Awesome. We're at the end of that roll I'm bringing you in because we found a third silver war nickel in here. It's got a Philadelphia mint mark, and this one is a 1945. That's cool. It's a bit of a darker edge, but not as dark as those other ones. I didn't notice it right away, but that's really cool. That's 3 silver war nickels in there. Awesome. Just cracked into roll number 38. And as I'm doing this coin roll hunt, I'm actually watching Rob Finds Treasure, going through some half dollars, and he just found a silver. And I wonder if that gave us some good luck, because check this roll out. I see a very white edge there. I think we're going to have a silver dime. This box has been pretty tough so far, but let's put it down and take a peek and see. It has that look of silver, and it is a 1968. It is absolutely silver. 50% silver. If we want to be 100% certain, we will just get the magnet out, and it should not stick. And it doesn't. So we've got silver in the roll and silver in the box. 50% silver, 1968. That was the first year in, actually the second year for 50%. In 1967, there was a transition to 50% silver partway through the year. But in 1968, some were nickel and some were silver, and we got a silver. That's awesome. We've got another lot of junk silver, or scrap silver as it's known here in Canada. Can't wait to get in and see if we got anything interesting. One of my favorite things to do is to pick up silver for melt value or cheaper. In this case, I bought a lot of silver coins. You can see there's $1 coins, 50-cent pieces, some quarters. There's dimes in here. I think it's mostly quarters and dimes. And I got all of this for 15 times face. So for this $1 coin here, I would have paid $15 for that. I don't actually remember how much is in here, what the face value mat is, so we'll figure that out. But what I'm going to do is dump it all out. We'll do that right now. Get that awesome sound of silver. And you can see there's a lot of stuff. There's some pretty shiny things in here. There's some 1968s. Those will be 50% silver. And there's some pretty tarnished things here. There's a King George VI dime of some sort. I've had this bag of coins probably for a couple of months or longer now. I had a chance to pick it up, and it's got some older stuff. It's mostly American, and there's definitely some silver in here. I can see that. There's some 40% in here, but there's some 90%, some older stuff. Well, I figure we may as well do a little bit of dump out. It is not all silver, so it's not going to all sound like silver, but we're just going to come out with a thud. Right here, we've got 3 toonies that were all found coin roll hunting, but one of these toonies is not like the others. One of these toonies is made of sterling silver. In front of me, we've got some toonies that you could find in circulation in a roll of toonies if you're doing coin roll hunting. Did you know that the Royal Canadian Mint produces every year toonies that are made of sterling silver with gold-plated center cores? That's right. And one of these coins here was found coin roll hunting and is in fact a sterling silver coin. And it's this one right here in the middle. This is a silver proof toonie that was made for collectors and somehow made its way into circulation and has been trading at face value for $2 until it made its way, not to me, but to my friend Brent, who found this coin roll hunting. Now, I've never actually found a sterling silver toonie before. I've never actually found a sterling silver quarter, but they have those too. Brent has found both of those things. And not only has he found one, but he's actually found 3 sterling silver coins, and he just sold these to me. So there it is, sandwiched in between a couple of more traditional toonies. And you can see it's kind of got a little bit of a whiter or almost a bit of a yellowy look about it compared to that bright color of the other toonies. And it's not just toonies. You can find silver modern loonies, quarters, nickels, dimes, even nickels. That's true. Here is a silver Millennium 1999 quarter. So again, it's a silver proof, and you can see the finish looks much brighter and whiter than I've just got a normal 1999 February on the left-hand side. That's nickel. And the other thing you can tell is by the reeded edge. This one sort of has a normal rounded appearance, but check out this silver one. This proof has a very sharp, flat edge. All right, well, that would be really hard to miss. Just that edge just screams this is a proof. I just pulled out roll number 21, and I think we're going to get silver. Just checking those edges. Look at this one right here that looks more white than the rest. We'll lay that down, and we can see what that's going to be. It's right there, and it definitely has the look of silver, and it's got the right portrait. It's a 1968. This one's going to be 50% silver. If we want to be absolutely certain, I'm going to take my magnet and we're going to just put that right up to it, and it does not stick. So we got silver in the box. That is awesome. It's been a while since I found a silver quarter. We're at the halfway point, roll number 25. It's another one of these collection dump rolls here. And we've got an edge here that I think might be silver. It's just different enough. It's just at the end, the third one. I'm going to flip it down. We're going to take a peek here, and you can see the difference in color. There's a commemorative here, another one of those poppies. And for sure, this is a 1965. We have 80% Canadian silver in there. So we've got 5 more of these rolls to go. And if this is a collection dump, could there be more silver? So roll 36, I think, is going to give us our second silver. There is a pretty white edge right here by my thumb and another American. We'll throw this down here and we'll take a peek. And that is a 1947 maple leaf. I think this is the oldest silver that I've ever found in quarters. This is King George VI. Check it out. King George VI, old Canadian silver, 80% silver. And the maple leaf behind the 7 tells us that this was minted in 1948. They were waiting for updated dies. George was no longer the Emperor of India, as the legend said. So when they needed more coins, they were still waiting for the dies from the Royal Mint in England, and they printed them with a maple leaf. That is awesome. Old Canadian silver, 1947 maple leaf. Sweet.
The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.